In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to create this masterpiece. And we are going to do this in After Effects. So if you don't know anything about After Effects, or you're wondering how you can get started, make sure you get my motion flyer design course starting from the basics of After Effects. And if you don't have the After Effects software, make sure you DM me. We will get you one and get you started right away. So make sure you get this crash course, and the best part of this crash course is you pay for once and you get constant updates of projects. Okay, so this is not a loss. DM me and let's get you started. All right, so let's jump into this video. Okay, so we got After Effects opened and we are going to create a new composition. All right, so I explained composition in the course. You can get that. So let's go to File, New, and New Project. Okay, all right, so that's new project that we got right here. So let's click New Composition, and for this composition you can say main composition. I normally don't name my first composition though, but for the width we are making it 1080 and the height we are making it 1350. Okay, so for the background we can make it black, or for now let's choose any color. Okay, so we got it right here. Right now we are going to create a gradient background, okay, using the rectangle tool. So here on the keyboard you have the rectangle tool selected. Okay, now if we click and drag, we will have a rectangle, but we want the rectangle to cover the whole composition size. Okay, so just double click on the rectangle, double click on it, and it will create a shape, okay, a rectangle to cover it. Now click this guy up here. Okay, you can change it. It is solid color, but we want it to be gradient. So instead of clicking the color that appears here, mine is white, click the name fill options. Okay, when you click the fill options, you have the gradient, the radial gradient here, and then the linear gradient here. Click the linear gradient and you get linear gradient like that. Okay, so now that we got this, click OK, and now click on the color fill, the gradient color fill itself. Okay, so over here on this side you are not using this. Okay, we will change it. Okay, but after that, so let's pick this color code. All right, and for this side let's pick FFC000. okay, click OK, and now we have this guy in the middle that we can tweak it like that. Okay, to change the angle, so we can move you can just stretch like that to have some harmony in there. Okay, make sure you don't find this thing difficult. It's very easy. Okay, let me undo that. After creating the color, you find this thing in the middle. Okay, you can just tweak this guy down and stretch. Okay, and when you pull this up, you know, you just get some harmony, smooth blend in there. Okay, you can drag this back up like that and you can have this. So this is cool. We are maintaining this. All right, so that is that. Now let's go to the resource or the stock folder, the link in the description once again, and let's drag this image background. Okay, and let's drop it here. So let's drag it on top of this and let's stretch it up. Okay, when you hold it, when you are dragging from desktop, hold shift to scale uniformly like that. Okay, that's cool. Now you have mode. Okay, we got mode over here. If you don't see mode, down here toggle switches. If you click it and you still don't see mode, toggle this guy. Okay, expand, whatever, blah blah blah. Here, when you toggle these guys, you find mode. All right, and the mode we are changing it to soft lights. Where is soft lights? Here. All right, now let's go to effects. Okay, and blur and sharpen. Now let's choose Gaussian blur. Over here, blurriness, let's increase it a little bit, all right, that's cool. So let's grab the type tool. Okay, over here it's Control T, and let's click and type Jenny's. After typing, Control and hit enter to exit typing. Okay, and in the character panel you can go to window and where is character, make sure it is checked or ticked or icked, whatever, and click. You are picking white, not white. Okay, I mean some off white, whatever color. So the color code is FFFAAA. All right, click OK. Triple F triple A. And with this guy, I'm just all caps. I'm going to not all caps. Okay, and the font that I'm using right here is Coffee. All right, Coffee Spark. Okay, so there's Coffee Spark, and I'm going to change the J, only the J to capital. All right, so we got Jenny's there, and over here we can increase the size of that Jenny's. Grab the move tool and just place it somewhere here. We can tweak this later. Okay, now hit Control D to duplicate this guy and bring one down, and Control T, click and change it to Eats, just like Uber Eats. This one is Jenny Eats, but it's okay. So Jenny Eats. So one thing that we need to fix over here is they are too close. Okay, the fonts are too close. If we click this and go in, say 100, press space bar, click and drag up here. Okay, this this thing right here looks blurry because I got it 10. Okay, I've set it to 10. You can set it to 4, but you know it will drain your RAM in case of many motions or transform animations being added. So select the Jenny, and over here this guy right here, the tracking, set it to 0. Okay, so that we get some spaces in there. Select this guy also and make it 0. Maybe yours would be at 0, but mine, that's where it is. Okay, I'll come back to fit. All right, so for the size I can choose to change it later or when I just bring in those guys. So to fast forward things, and for those who are on free mode, which is YouTube on motion flyers, we are just going to use these cards that I just created in Photoshop. Okay, we are going to import the cards. So let's go in here, let's come in here. All right, and drag all these cards, these food cards. Okay, and all right, I'll explain that later. So let's drag these cards here and place them here. All right, so we got the Wachi guy. So let's bring the Wachi, let's drag the Wachi over here. Okay, so the Wachi is here, and we all can see the Wachi is there. Damn it. So let's go to align and click center, align center, whatever. So go to window and make sure align is checked. It will pop up somewhere here. Okay, and you check this guy right here, align horizontally. Okay, and let's bring another guy, which is okay, another guy, could be any guy. Okay, could be kinky or, but let's bring the foo first. Okay, let's bring the foo first. Let's drop it and then move it somewhere here. Okay, so the spacing, those okay, and let's bring kinky. Let's drop kinky and place it here. So you can select these three guys, hold shift and click on all of them, and then under align we can just distribute horizontally so that we have even spaces between them. Okay, and then we can just, this guy right here, align vertically to just align them like that. So that's cool, this is cool. But in case we can do this, okay, we can do this thing right here, this shape, and then place the Wachi over here and all of that in After Effects, but it will take a long time to do complete, since there are so many food that we are going to list. Okay, that is why I created these cards in Photoshop. Okay, so if I open Photoshop here, you can see this is the preview. Okay, but over here is where I created this card, because there are a bunch of food when you want to create multiple foodstuffs. Okay, you can't do that in After Effects. It will take a long time to complete. And for those on the course, they know how to create this round corners, add drop shadows and all of that. Okay, so they can do this, but it will take a long time to do that. So if you want to know how to drop shadows and round corners and all of that, be on the course, link in the description. Okay, so let's continue from there. I think we are even done. So we are done here. It's left with one ribbons. I'll place ribbon on top and we start animating. Okay, so we are going to create ribbons. This won't be in the YouTube tutorial, okay, because this part is for those on the course. That is that. So let's see how we can animate the carousels, okay, or the cards. So I skipped, and we have some ribbons in here created with a pen tool and some drop shadows added. Okay, so I skipped though, but in the update for those with the course, I didn't skip. I showed how to create this ribbon with the pen tool and added the shadows. Okay, so make sure you get the course and you have access to setting. Did I say setting? Anyways, you're coming to animate these carousels. Okay, so let's add the rest, and thank God we can see the border lines or the margins of this here, so we can align them and then we start animating. Easy peasy. So let's drop this and go to project. These guys will show up. We have the kinky over here, we have the wache, and we got the fufu. So let's add the biryani, and let's add the pizza and then the pies. Okay, so let's drag the biryani guy here. Okay, and let's click here and zoom out. Let's come to 33. Now let's drag the pies also here. Okay, we can hold our space bar and then move it here and see what's going on over there. And let's add the pizza. So there should be 6 things over here. All right, but since we added them one by one or one after the other, some will be down like that, others will be like this. Not like this though, but they won't be aligned. So all that we need to do is make sure this guy is aligned with the composition. Okay, that's why we need to go to window and we got align. It'll pop up somewhere here. Okay, and click align. It's in the middle. Now select the others, hold shift and click on all these guys that we've added, and in the panel, align panel, we are adding this guy aligned vertically. Okay, so that you have them. Now what about the spacing? We just go for the vertical distribute horizontally, and we have equal spacing, but this guy shifts to the left a little. So anyways, let's just push it to the try and center, with our eyes. Cool with that. But as for the spacing, it is even. All right, and that is that. Okay, so let's see how we can animate this. So to get these guys animated, we have to add null object and tie all these 6 cards here to it, so that we just animate only the null object and these guys will be animated as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a null object. Okay, we can go to layer, new, and null object here. I explained the null objects in details in the crash course. Okay, so kindly get that. So that's the null object. We got it here, and we are going to tie all the cards to it. So we have to select all the cards. Okay, so this is the first one. This is the pizza. Hold control, click the pies, select all the images. Okay, you have to get 6. So in the layers panel, look for parent, pick, whip. Okay, parent and link. These guys looking like ropes. If you can't find them, toggle the switches, and I'm sure whatever switch that you toggle, you will find the parent, pick, whip here. Okay, so with this, click after selecting all the 6, anyone that you select or click and drag, you whip all of them to the null object. Okay, so click and drag and drop onto the null object. That is that. Now if I hit P on the keyboard, and wherever that I move these guys, you know, they are moving at the same time. Okay, so right now let's go to composition and composition settings. Okay, and check the duration. Mine is at 15 seconds. Okay, 0015. Okay, or 0051 from the left. Good, that's 15 seconds. So what we are going to do is P for position under the null object. Just add, starting from 0. Okay, add the keyframe and push it to, let's say, 1 second. Okay, and let's adjust the X index or the X position. Let's push it to the right. Okay, somewhere here is cool. All right, now let's highlight the second keyframe. Go to animation, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Okay, so with that we go to the graph, and then to be looking like this. Okay, to be looking like this, just drag this to the left. All right, let's see, let's drag more. Okay, now let's stretch this. Okay, and then let's go ahead and hit the space to play back. Okay, all right, so that's cool. So the simplest way not to confuse you guys when swiping is just after it stops. Okay, you just move for a duration. Okay, we just move forward. Okay, we move forward, and the position, we just bring the next guy. Which one was okay? So we just bring the next guy in there. Okay, like this, and we just move. Okay, and we just bring the next guy, and then we move, and then we bring the next guy. When it comes to moving, you know, having same equal spaces, I talked about that in the crash course. And then we bring the next guy. Okay, so you will see that when I play back, they will just be scrolling but not stopping. Okay, so the reason why they stop is the curve is already, you know, this keyframe assistant is being applied. That's why they are not looking like this first keyframe. Okay, that is why they stop before they just move to the next. Because if you check, you can see we didn't touch these guys, but you know, they've been curved. That's because they copied the first guy here. All right, so we can then select these guys. Okay, come to the graph, and then just squeeze them to the left more. Okay, so that's the farthest they can go. Okay, so if that's the case, then all we need to do is stretch these guys. Okay, stretch the duration. So let's select or highlight these keyframes, hold Alt on the keyboard, and click the last guy and stretch out. Okay, so let me scroll this to the left, and then 15 seconds I will just stretch more. So since they are in a straight line, we can't loop it. Okay, all that we can do is maybe add a few cards. Okay, another card right here, and then go ahead and whip it to the null object. Okay, so we can continue the animation from there like that. Okay, it's all about adding more cards, so it will continue like that. Okay, All right, so that is that for this tutorial, but you know, those on the course will have a lengthy video and more added to stuffs in there, just like what you saw in the intro. All right, so that tells you that you should go ahead and get the crash course and you will learn a lot. Okay, so kindly contact me via WhatsApp, and there is no scam, there is nothing. You just pay for once, get an infinite updates for free. All right, so this is Cool Graphics and this is the Design Chef. Make sure you subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.